Hey guys, what you doing? This is my first video of 2020, and what I mean by that is that whoever decides it's a good idea to comment how they haven't seen me since last decade on YouTube will get their kneecap stolen and sold on eBay. So since the beginning of the year, I've gone through some hardship, and by that I mean that my fridge just broke down. So I spent the last couple of days just cooking and giving away food in a desperate attempt to salvage as many of the items that I had stored. So, for lack of better words, I was like one of those dudes in their 40s going on Facebook tirades blaming Western civilization for their inability to score a girlfriend that's still in high school. So basically nobody wanted my meat. But at the same time, I get it that, there's bigger harms in this world. For instance, this morning I woke up and my entire Reddit feed was just memes about getting drafted. So I get it, but this problem of mine is like a close second. We have 2 new Patreon supporters this week, so hello and thank you so much for your support, Blake Crone and Michael Underegg. Special thanks also go to my old supporters. Thank you so much, Katya Hancock, Jesus Gonzalez, and Ari. I was honestly thinking about doing the Patreon shout out somewhere in the middle of the video, to subvert expectations, but then I remembered I'm an ASMR artist and not a podcaster. I've spent holidays at home, and let me tell you, when the bulk of your time isn't spent in an office or at school, time just feels so made up. For that reason, I just spent most of my days just watching celebrities on YouTube pretend to be real people. It's like celebrity ASMR interviews. One in particular stood out to me. It was Gal Gadot just reviewing traditional Israeli snacks, and I figured if she can do that, I could probably do the same, but for Romanian snacks, given that both me and her have been in about the same number of good movies, and we're probably on the same level acting skill-wise. I'm just going to start with the salty snacks first and then move on to the sweet. And our first item on the list is buffuleți. An English equivalent of these I think would be like cheese puffs, but without the cheese flavoring. We obviously have the cheesy ones also, but I'm currently filming this indoors, and opening a bag of cheese puffs in a poorly ventilated room is just basically a violation of human rights at this point. They basically have the same consistency as packing peanuts. And as far as taste goes, they're pretty similar to packing peanuts also. I honest to God hope the sounds these things are making are satisfying in any way, shape, or form, because chewing on them surely is not. For context, chewing on buffalets feels like melting styrofoam beads in petroleum, but with your mouth. Okay, the last one. Honestly, I highly believe that one of the key ingredients of buffalets is crack, because they're not at all tasty. The mouthfeel isn't great, but for some reason I can't stop eating them. The next item on the list is a bacon flavored snack, and this is called Crocs. The same goes for this as for the buffalets, meaning that I have absolutely no clue what this is made out of, but it's bacon flavored, and I am pretty sure this was the main reason for child obesity during my generation, because we would eat this for our school snack like every day. Every day, and we never got sick of it. This is how it looks like. It's like a little strip of bacon. Truly, this was ahead of its time. Like, I don't even normally eat bacon, but this is so good. And I swear, these never go bad. Like, this pack has been in my pantry for like, I don't know, a couple of weeks, and they're still super crunchy. Should an apocalypse ever occur and society fall into like disrepair, while all other countries, like, people have to learn how to hunt in order to survive or start foraging for mushrooms and such, we're going to be sitting here in Romania eating our bacon snacks because these obviously laugh in the face of a sell-by date. And I guess it's not particularly hard when your two main ingredients are cardboard and salt. Our last salty snack is tiksuri. Now, this bag has been sitting in front of me for like the past 20 minutes, and just now I realized something that I find rather funny. So, obviously, the original name is just sticks, but we in Romania call it sticksuri, which would roughly translate in English as stickses. Anyway, this is basically just long pretzels. Now, this is the kind of food that is very much influenced by the shape. For instance, are they better than regular pretzels because they're like long? Obviously. But at the same time, are they the kind of food somebody would feel nostalgic about? Absolutely not. This is basically something you would only eat regularly if you had the stomach flu. FYI, that is in fact the only correct way to eat stiksuri. Like, you're a very, very hungry paper shredding machine. The first sweet snack that we're going to try is called Poof, and it's a coconut marshmallow biscuit. It looks like this. Now, these are usually individually wrapped, but when you find them at the supermarket, they're just like an entire roll of individually wrapped cookies, and their only claim to fame is that they're like super cheap. Like you can buy 8 or 9 of these for $1, hence why they're so popular with children. I'm gonna take a bite. Now, as they do in most cooking shows, I'm going to show you a cross section. So it's pretty straightforward. It's a biscuit on the bottom, then marshmallow, and the marshmallow is covered with shredded coconut. The next snack is in a league of its own, and it's an Eugenia. Now, by definition, this would be an elongated cookie sandwich, but by God, is it so much more than that. For instance, should you go to any store in Romania and ask for their cookie selection, the seller is going to point you towards the Oreos and the Pepitos and the Milka, but never these, because these just feel somehow different. It's very hard to pinpoint how an Eugenia is different from a regular cookie sandwich, but it's just when you're craving a cookie, that mood is totally different from when you're craving an Eugenia. So anyway, I am going to open these. As a general rule, Eugenia always comes in a pack of 2. And like also they're like extremely cheap. Fun fact, actually, Eugenia is also a pretty common girl's name here in Romania, and I'm not going to get into detail regarding like all the jokes regarding that name. It's just that at this point, this is basically what you call your girl child to show them that they're not your favorite child, or that they were like a mistake pregnancy. So our next product is probably the most iconic one out of the bunch. It's the Rum chocolate bar. Now for the longest time this brand only made one thing only, and that was the original Rum candy bar, which was basically like this one except half as big, and it was like pretty one note. Like it was a milk chocolate with the rum filling. Still pretty great actually, but I guess you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a sellout, because nowadays like the market is just overflowing with rum products. Like you have a pound cake, you have little chocolates, you have an ice cream. I think there's already a bunch of different flavors of the candy bar, so you know, but amongst all of that, the original rum it's still pretty good to this day, you feel? this is pretty much how it looks like. I never spent enough time to actually examine it in detail until now, but there's Bucharest written on top of it. So what I'm going to do is try and snap it. Pretty unsatisfying. But then again, I did have the ring light on for quite some time. Now, I haven't had one of these in the longest time, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, but the chocolate is actually nothing too special. But that rum filling, oh my god. The last product I'm going to try, I'm rather happy I left for the end of the video because I am feeling rather disgusting after eating all that crap, and I feel like this would be a nice palate cleanser. It's the Hubba Bubba chewing gum, and I guess this was the only flavor that was more easily accessible nowadays. Now, I've always been a big fan of sour jelly candy, so my entire childhood I remember getting like the apple flavored gum because the first time you bit into it, it was like so extremely sour, and I absolutely loved that. But today I am going to try the original flavor. I remember times when I would just like shove like 2 or 3 pieces of gum into my mouth and I would blow these giant bubbles that would just burst all over my face. And I swear to God, cleaning bubble gum out of your eyebrows, it's like such a tedious thing to do. Well guys, that was all for today. Thank you so much for watching me give myself diarrhea. I'll see you all next time, and until then I want you all to remember that the Mothman is real. We made out and he's a very kind and gentle lover.